Hello children, myself Divya Sharma from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group, Kota. I hope you all are doing well at your home. Children, today we are going to study chapter number 12, that is future tense of your English grammar books. So take out your books, Everyday English Grammar and Composition, chapter number 12, page number 49. In the previous class, we learnt about past tense. As I told you, there are three kinds of tenses: present tense, past tense, and today we are going to learn future tense. Okay, future tense of a verb tells you about the actions which is going to take place sometime in the future, which is expected to take place sometime in the future. For example, if I say it will rain tomorrow. Now the sentence it will rain tomorrow, that means the action is still going to take place sometime in future. It is expected to rain tomorrow. So will rain over here shows you that the sentence is in future tense. Okay, now I'll tell you the structure, how to form future tense. Structure of future tense. You have the subject plus, now in future tense you use will or shall with the first form of the verb, and then the sentence continues. So structure of future tenses: subject plus will or shall plus the first form of the verb. For example, she will wash the dishes after the dinner. Now, as I told you, subject, over here we are talking about she. Okay, she over here is pronoun. Okay, so this is the subject. Will, we have used the helping verb will, and wash over here is the first form of the verb, it's the main verb. So will wash, then the rest of the sentence, the dishes after the dinner. So this sentence is in future tense. We use will or shall in future tense, but nowadays in modern English the use of will is more common rather than the use of shall. The use of shall is very rare. Just for your knowledge, I'll tell you, we use shall with the first person pronoun. You must have learned, that is I and we. But it is also very rare nowadays, okay? And we use will with the second person pronoun, that is you, and the third person pronouns, that is he, she, it, and they. Okay, so this is the use of will and shall, but more commonly nowadays we use will rather than shall. So no need to get confused over whether you have to use shall or will. And mostly will is used when you are sure about the action to take place sometime in the future. When you are not sure that action will take place in the future, you use shall. Okay, I shall be late, then you are not sure, you shall be late. Okay, I will be late, that means the action over here is sure. Okay, so this was the structure of future tense and the use of will and shall. Now let us discuss some book exercise. Now let us see few examples from the book. First we'll look into the definition. Verbs in the future tense describe actions that are expected to take place later. As I told you, the action which is expected to take place sometime in future, that is the future tense. For example, I will buy a new camera next week. Now will buy over here is the future tense. The verb shows that the sentence is in future tense. My father will visit my sister in Mumbai in January. Will visit again is future tense. In the above sentences, the verbs will buy and will visit denote actions that will be done in the future. So will buy and will visit denotes the action which will take place sometime in the future. In the future tense, we use will or shall in addition to the main verb. I told you the structure right now. The structure of forming the future tense, we use will or shall with the main verb. In modern English, use of shall is quite rare and will is used more commonly. Now, this is an important point to be noted, that the use of shall nowadays is very rare. More commonly, we use will. Now, I'll discuss few examples from the book. Question number A, rewrite the following sentences in the future tense. Okay, now I'll discuss exercise A with you all. I'll discuss the first example. I do my homework regularly. You have to rewrite the sentence in the future tense. As I told you, with I you use shall, so it will be I shall do my homework regularly. Okay. Now, next I'll discuss 8th one with you. 8th is Rupali and Sanya do their homework neatly. So it will be Rupali and Sanya will do their homework neatly. Okay, Rupali and Sanya will do their homework neatly. Now, exercise B, question number B. Fill in the blanks with future tense forms of the verbs given below. Now, here in the box you have been given the future tense verbs and you have to fill in the blank with the correct form. First, I'll discuss the second example with you. The milkman dash milk late tomorrow. So, the blank will be filled by will bring. Then I'll discuss 8th one with you. When I grow up, I shall, and the correct future tense form of verb over here will be travel. Okay, I shall travel all around the world. Now for both the exercises, children, rest of the blanks you can try it yourself and check from the PDF which will be sent to you. So today we learnt about future tense. Future tense describe the actions that are expected to take place in the future. I told you the structure of the future tense: subject plus will or shall plus the first form of the verb. Okay. Now children, let's start with chapter number 21, homophones. First we look into the definition of homophones. What are homophones? Homophones are words which sound the same but differ in spelling and meaning. Means that these are the words which have the same sound but their spelling and meaning is different. Now let's look into some examples. For example, break and break. Now this break is used to separate parts, okay, and over here this brake is used as a part of a vehicle. So the sound of these two words is same, but as you can see the spelling of both these words and the meaning is different. Second example is right and right. This right over here means correct, okay? And W-R-I-T-E means when you write with pen or pencil. So both of these words have the same sound, but as you can see, the spelling and the meaning of these two words is different. So these are called homophones. Now I'll discuss some examples from the book. Question number A, if you see in your book, question number A. Fill in the blanks with correct words from the brackets. Here you have been given the blanks and you have been given the words in the bracket. You have to choose the correct word. I'll discuss the second example with you. Ravi wants to dash a pencil. You have been given B-Y-E buy or B-U-Y buy. So which one will be the correct? The correct answer will be B-U-Y. Ravi wants to buy a pencil. Here, this buy over here means to purchase. Okay? And B-Y-E means when you see off someone. Okay? Now, I'll discuss the fourth one. They have gone back to dash house. T-H-E-I-R or T-H-E-R-E. Over here, the correct one will be T-H-E-I-R. Now why? Because T-H-E-I-R means belonging to someone. So it is their house. And T-H-E-R-E is used to show place. So this is the difference. Okay, now we'll discuss question number B. Choose the correct words from those given in brackets. First one, when I was in class 1 or 1, I won or won a prize. Now over here you can see the sound of both these words is same, but the spelling and meaning is different. So when I was in class you are saying, so it will be 1. I won a prize. Okay. Now we'll see second example. That is fourth one. The wind, B-L-E-W, blew or blew. The blew or blew kite up towards the sky. Over here, this blew is the past tense of blow and this blue is the color. So the correct answer will be, first it will be the wind blew and then the blue kite. Over here it shows the color of the kite. Fine. Now I'll discuss question number C. Children, for rest of the parts you can refer the PDF when it will be sent to you. Do it yourself. Now we'll discuss the C one. Write words that are pronounced in the same way as the ones given below but are spelt differently. It's the same. So first I'll discuss this wait and wait. Now question number C. Second one I'll discuss. You have to give the correct word. Now this is wait. It will be similar to wait. So these two are again homophones. Okay, this wait refers to your health. Wait, and this wait when you are waiting for someone. Now it will be seventh one I'll discuss with you. It's gate and gate. So over here, this gait means it's a manner of walking. Okay, this gait refers to the manner of how do you walk, and this gate refers to your main door gate or your doors. Okay, so these two words over here, same sound, but the spelling and the meaning different. Now we'll discuss question number E. You have to use the given words to fill in the blanks correctly. You have been given the words over here in the grid, okay? Then you have to choose the correct blank. See, you have been given the words in the grid and you have to choose the correct word and fill in the blank. So I'll discuss with you first and second. The rose is a beautiful. Now over here we know that rose is a flower. So the correct word over here will be flower. That is F-L-O-W-E-R. And second, the baker ordered 2 bags of flour for the bakery. Okay. So the first one will be flour and the second one will be flower. The sound is the same, but over here the meaning and the spelling is different. Now we'll take fifth one. The puppies have grown into strong dogs. Over here G-R-O-W-N shows growth of something, grown into a strong dogs. The wounded man let out a groan. It's a sound which comes when you are in pain. So fifth one will be the puppies have grown, and sixth one will be the wounded man let out a groan. So with these examples you saw that these words have the same sound but the spelling and the meaning is different. That is what we call homophones. Okay, rest of the blanks you try out yourself and you can check from the PDF which will be sent to you. Now revise both the chapters, complete the book work. Thank you.